I'm bringing honey for the groom and his lovely bride. May their new life prove at least as sweet. Dance till we die, or the sun lights the sky. Dance till we die, or the sun lights the sky. I'm bringing honey for the groom.
Smells of smoke. Bites at my eyes. Strays have set something else ablaze, I wager. The Queen rides hither. The Queen. She'll smite the bandits. Save us, one and all. The Queen rides... The Queen rides hither. The Queen. She'll smite the bandits. Save us, one and all.
Left, right, left, right.
Lyria!
Discipline shall bring us victory! Oh, Lyrian lummoxes. One bolt I need. Give me a time.
Good folk, the Queen's returned. Welcome her we must. Tribute in hand. Ah, our Queen. Why, pretty as a painting she is. Ups, ups, merry little plant. Weddings without ye, revel we shan't. Folks say the black clads come our way. I say let 'em. We've pitchforks enough for 'em all. Ups, up. Ah.
Maeve's ear suddenly caught brisk music and voices raised in song. She had no doubt. A wedding ceremony had just begun in a hamlet just off the high road. When the bride's father spotted the royal retinue, he rushed up to beg the Queen to bless the newlyweds. Maeve obliged cordially. Encouraged, the father boldly invited Maeve and her court to join in the festivities.
You'd do us a right honour, my lady. And your men would bolster their strength afore to march ahead. We beg ye, eat, drink, and rejoice with us.
I haven't slippers to dance in, but I trust I'll manage somehow. Lead on, good man.
The nuptials took place in the shade of a vast oak tree. Then the newlyweds and their guests walked in procession to a barn adorned with flowers. An uproarious celebration ensued. As she watched her soldiers dance shoulder to shoulder with peasants, Maeve felt a surge of pride at being their queen. The heart of Lyria. It beat most powerfully here, not in the gilded halls of palaces. Suddenly a cry went up as strange armed men rushed into the yard.
There's the lass! Grab her!
Before anyone could stop them, the bandits took the bride and fled into the woods. The drums and fiddles, suddenly silenced, were now replaced by weeping, moaning, angry calls for pursuit. Deep grief upon his face, the host turned to Maeve with a plea.
Milady, we beg of you, help us!
We'll not leave you wanting, good man.
Shouted the queen, slipping her feet into her stirrups.
Follow me! Yeah!
The earth trembled beneath the weight of horse and hoof. Tankards laid out for a midnight toast to the bride and groom clinked prematurely in the quake, and the Lyrians charged forth into the dark wood.
Oh, to be young again, heart bursting with love. Oh, to be young again, heart bursting with love.
Though the Lyrian cavalrymen had imbibed spirits throughout the night, they not only managed to stay upright in their saddles, but even gained on the bandits and cut off any chance of escape.
Stop them!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Can't take it anymore. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn guts are killing me. One boat's all I need.
We must stop them.
Give me a time.
I smell a leak.
Our ballista, your command.
Yeah, yeah!
Armor won't serve.
We have them, Your Majesty! Neve's troops defeated the bandits and rescued the bride. Only to be surprised. For the maiden fair dropped to her knees and burst into tears of sorrow, not joy.
Weep not, child.
The queen said, placing her arm upon her shoulder.
It's over. You're free.
Nay, not so, Your Majesty. My lady, I've no love for Jan. No wish to wed him. It's my father. My family forced me. My heart's fimbers. He arranged the masquerade. I beg ye, if you've 1 ounce of kindness, if you've a heart, let us leave this place together and free.
This scheme you've pursued, I can't condone. Folk have been wounded. Some might have died.
Said the queen.
Yet, equally, I cannot let others force you to marry.
So, may we go, Your Grace?
You may. Fast as your legs will carry you, afore I've a change of heart.
Though none dared utter a word of chagrin, Meve sensed her subjects' bitter gazes upon her. At the first light of the morn she left, without so much as a nod goodbye.
The Queen rides hither. The Queen. She'll smite the bandits. Save us, one and all.
beware. Some bandits on thy road round dawn. Those that call themselves the Strays. Those bandits, dressed as demons they was. Horns on their heads and pig snouts instead of noses. Those bandits, beware. So
Off to Weddding, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk of beyond shite. Off to Weddding, are ye? Off to Weddding, are ye? Bonnet tune that.
As they neared Weddding, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarves at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
The Queen knew well that if she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
What is your command, Your Grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Niamh realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started this? I must know. So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Her Majesty knows. We will strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob!
God save us! There's killing everyone! Run for your lives!
Happily, Meve restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
Your excuses I cannot accept,
Said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Meve's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change, these are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
You hanged good folk today, ma'am. And for what? Because they came to the end of their tether? You hanged good...
Well, well. Seems humans are near the same after all. Well, nothing left in Wetterton for me now. Close me shop and share the road with you.
You hanged good folk...
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears through earth your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Meve's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Lyria! One bolt's all I need.
Time I taught you some respect!
Give me a target. Our ballista, your command.
What was that filth?
The queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, your grace,
replied Reynard.
but to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Meve said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?